Hello, I'm John Moeller, former White House chef, the Three First Families, and author of Dining at the White House. Today we're here at the RLPS Architects Bistro in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and we're going to show you how to make oysters mignonette. First, let's make the mignonette sauce. All the ingredients in that is going to be red wine vinegar, minced shallots, and fresh ground pepper. We're going to put some rock salt on the plate to kind of hold the oysters into place, and then after we'll open up the oysters and put that on the rock salt. We're going to peel the shallot. We're going to take the shallot, we're going to cut it right down the middle in half, and we're going to place it on its side like this. I have the root end away from you. You can take a nice sharp knife, and we're going to make just little slices here in this direction. All right. Then after, we're going to come back. We're going to make one slice across like this, and then we're going to go down through and make small minced shallots. We're going to take the shallots here. We're going to put it into our vinegar. But it's going to marinate in this vinegar for a little bit. We're going to take some fresh ground pepper, put some on top here. Okay. We're going to mix it up, and we're just going to let that sit and macerate a little bit while we open up the oysters. I have some oysters off the coast of Virginia. I love oysters from Virginia up north to Maine. I also love it from the upper northwest. We're going to take some rock salt. I'm going to put it across the platter. I have a kind of a long one here. Or you can put a round one, and there's also oyster plates that are designed to hold the shell of the oyster. First, I washed them. We got to clean all the extra grit and any kind of dirt that might be on it. We take a good clean towel. We have our oyster knife. This is one style of an oyster knife, and this is for safety. Take the oyster, put it here, put the towel over top it like this. You're going to go back here towards the hinge. So here's the round part of the oyster. Back here's where the hinge is. We need to pop that open, and then right here, there's a piece of muscle that we need to cut through. So I'm going to cover this up. If I'm going through here and I slip, the knife is going to go into the towel and not into your hand. So it's good to use a nice clean towel, dry. Now we're going to go through the back here, and you take it and you find the hinge there, and you wiggle it back and forth until it pops open. Now I can let the towel go and go through the oyster, and I know that the little muscle is right here. So I'm going to ride the knife alongside here until I get to this point. And with the knife facing upwards, I'm going to scrape right through that and release that top shell of the oyster. So we go through like this. I jiggle it back and forth. And when I get to there, I cut it. Right now, I just cut that muscle. We're going to take that top shell, open it up. You can see right there where that piece of muscle is. Now this part we really don't need. You can throw it in your garden. Adds a little calcium to your garden. It's good for the tomatoes. The bottom piece of this muscle, you have to cut that open. Now the oyster is completely released from the shell. It has that nice juice in it, and it's actually the juice that's in the oyster that makes it really taste flavorful more than the oyster itself there. So we need to take this guy, and we're just going to set it here, and we're going to go back. I'm going to open up some other ones here. Let's see what we. Oysters were popular at the White House. Used to use them from time to time there. I know George H.W. Bush loved a plate of oysters on a half shell. Being a man that spends time up at Kenny Bunport, Maine, he appreciates a good quality oyster. And what we do with the mignonette sauce, you dip into the vinegar, take out some of the shallots that have been soaking in there, and you just sprinkle them on the oysters. Do not take all the liquid, all the vinegar, and add that to it. You just want to take up some of the shallots and mix that into it. And I tell you that shallot with the vinegar taste adds just enough of sharpness, acid, that it really mixes well. It's one of my favorite things to put with oysters. Cocktail sauce is good. A lot of cocktail sauce is actually for people who don't like oysters. But for me, that natural flavor, it's that taste of the sea is what I really like about the oysters. I'm John Moeller, former White House chef, the Three First Families, and author of Dining at the White House. And that was how to make oysters mignonette. Always remember, cook well and eat well.